Hit go live, and we're live. Alrighty. Well, it's no one's in here yet, but we'll get started in a few minutes. I feel like this is the part where we should have some music, right? Some like
Yeah.
mood music, like sipping
Yeah.
wine. I know it's Wind Down Wednesday.
Woohoo.
I'm like trying to cut that out, so I'm gonna wind down water, and
Yes.
that's it.
Water Wednesday.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, wind down
Water
water.
Wednesday.
Right, Water Wednesdays. And I've been doing your
The lemon.
lemon. Yes. It feels so good going down. It's so nice and spicy because I like spicy. Now, do you do one or two dashes in yours? Do
I
like
do
two dashes?
probably like 2 to 3
Okay.
um in it. The right now the version that I have is really spicy. So I just try to temper it as my
As
palate
you
can
go.
take it. But it does
Okay.
take us for a bit. Mhm.
Awesome. All right, well, we're live. We already have some people in the chat. Hey, everyone, welcome. Welcome back to Wind Down Wednesday. We were just saying it's tonight for me, it's Wind Down Water Wednesday. So, but feel free to have your drink. Welcome to Carol. Welcome to Erica, Live Spirity, Francis. Let's see, she said, I'm in Uber taxi on my way home from Harlem. Okay, girl. Yes. Just finished having some wine. Hope you had some for us too. Hey, Federica. Hey, our family Exodus. That's Danielle, correct? Yes. I always get you and Alan mixed up. I'm sorry. It's not untangled yet in my
It's
brain.
it's
Yeah. Welcome, author Alicia. Thank you for being here. You all can let everyone know where you're checking in from in the chat. I'm Michelle. I am located in San Miguel de Allende. I'm the founder of Casa Elm, which is a guest house located in San Miguel. We are in central Mexico. For anyone who does not know this already, new to the channel, or just watching the replay, you can check us out at casaelm.com. I help people that are interested in relocating to Mexico, mostly central Mexico. That's my focus. I've lived here for 6 years. We help with relocation tours. We have authentic Mexican experiences in this part of the country. We do women's retreats and all the other things in between. And we also just accommodate travelers who are just in town trying to figure it all out. And it's the soft landing space. We've been the soft landing for a few years, been here for 2 years in Casa Elm, but 6 years in total in San Miguel. So feel free to visit the website if you have any questions. Moving on, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I always forget to say that. Tonight, I'm very, very excited to speak with this beautiful group of queens, because that's what we are, right? And we have a new venture that one of these queens came up with, and I'll let them kind of talk a little bit more in depth about it. We're very excited to help people basically redefine their life abroad, and that's the whole concept and idea behind this upcoming summit. So one by one, I'll let each of them introduce themselves, and then we'll get a little bit more into talking about this amazing event that will be coming in August. I will drop the link in the chat, but since we're just getting started, we'll just kind of go around and introduce ourselves individually. I already did my part. So top left is Bobby. Please feel free to get in here and tell us a little bit about yourself.
absolutely. Hello, everyone. I'm Natria Bobby Robinson. I'm known as Bobby. I am a co-host of the YouTube channel Aging Grateful, as well as our new venture that we are having with YouTube, which is called Black Married Abroad, that we are starting as well. Our goal is to help people and share our journey to pre-retirement, as well as the move abroad process, as well as couples moving abroad or who are already abroad to start have a community where we can talk about topics and things that affect us abroad as married couples.
Love it. I love it. So,
Yes.
if we're gonna add like each of the channels, I'll make sure that's added to the description box so you all can go and support them. Make sure you, like and subscribe, follow all the information, because just in case you don't know this already, for those who maybe don't know this, we all live in San Miguel now, right?
Yes.
Some are newer to San Miguel, newer to Mexico, whatever the case might be. And I personally am just super excited to have like this amazing group of women and more, right? There are more of us
Yes.
who are really just creating a lot of support for each other, sisterhood, ideas, and just helping us all on this journey called life abroad. So I just wanted to put that out there, and we'll make sure everyone's link to their channels are listed and their other handles are listed in the description box. So please be sure you go there and check it. I know there's some things there already, but just check it. And up next is Tracy, who was on about a week ago chatting with us. Yeah, jump in.
Hey everyone, thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Bobby. I am Tracy Collins, and I do live here in San Miguel. I am originally from Oakland, California, and we relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, from Atlanta to Mexico. And I hate really describing what I do. I hate talking about myself, believe it or not. I do my best. So, but I actually am a growth strategist for women. So I will either help you build your business or scale it down, because I recently sold a company. So I know exactly what that's like and how to structure that exit plan. But I'm also about personal and wellness development for women. So I focus on all things women, all things woman, and just helping you level your life up one way or another so you can live the life that you desire and deserve.
Yes, love that, love that. And she's being very modest, FYI. So yes, up next is Dee from Brown Girls Invest 2. Some of you may or not have seen her already. She also has a channel, and she's basically here to help you get your money right.
Right.
So let her go ahead.
Thank you so much. Yes, again, I am Dee Watkins. My channel is Brown Girls Invest 2. I am originally from Chicago. I also still maintain a home in the Atlanta area, and I've been in San Miguel for about 4 months now. My channel is geared toward helping people save more, spend less, and learn to invest in the stock market and get your money right, because we need to in these days, or all days, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, Alan?
I was saying,
The
and
church
up.
finger.
Get your money right and up.
That's right. That's right. I've actually done a consultation, which was very thorough. Thank you. I still need to follow up with you on many things. Trust. She's the lady to speak to. All right. Without further ado, we're going to let Alum introduce herself. Yes, beautiful Alum. We want that hair. Can I borrow?
Hello, my name is Alum. I am a funny, smart, and amazing woman from Florida, surprisingly. And I also own a business, Core Servicing Solutions, where I help small businesses register for their women-owned, minority-owned, disadvantaged business entity, and other small business services. So that's what I'm here to talk about. I also have a YouTube channel
Yeah, tell us
with my
about that.
husband, our ex's life. And I just started my own YouTube channel, Finding Alum, where I'm going to be sharing weekly vlogs of my own journey of figuring out my 40-something life post-children and everything.
Love that. I love that title, Finding Alum. I went to that this morning, so you all go there, subscribe, and check it out. I think that we all are bringing our own little bit of spice into the space in the city. But what I love the most is that it just kind of continues to show people how you can take something you love, you're interested in, a passion, and actually turn it into a business, right? So this is the reason why we're here tonight, to talk about that more, the different experiences that we've all already had, the things that we think other people want to experience, you know, how this summit can help them get there. And I think just coming together to share, there's always going to be something somewhere that someone can relate to, right? The different personalities in our group, the different ventures that we're all into. I've been here a bit longer, but I feel so like more empowered now. I don't feel like that ship that's out there just sailing around, you know, trying to figure it all out, which has been fine, but it's been just really an amazing experience getting to get closer with the people that are moving to San Miguel beyond the let's get together and have brunch, you know. So I just want to say I really truly appreciate you all asking me to be a part of this, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my experiences and my knowledge with the group and anyone else who better sign up for our summit. That was a threat. I'm just kidding. So we'll let Tracy give us a better explanation of what we have in store for you all.
Just to give everybody a little bit of context about redefining life abroad, what was happening was I was becoming very vocal about redefining myself abroad, and I kept sharing it with other women, other Black women who had relocated. And they were like, me too, but in various phases, but there was still some commonality. And so oftentimes, as we do, we meet at my house at the brown table and we have brown table talk. And I guess the idea came to have the summit. I forgot it was originally my idea. So I'm going to hold my sisters up to my brain accountability and memory. But it was something that I thought we could give voice to, because there's a lot of conversation about moving abroad and what to do to get there, and even financial sustainability once you're there, but there is no context or talk about who am I? So that is why we came up with redefining life abroad.
I love it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so anyone else want to give some input on that?
I was going to say another thing about it is we're centering all of our talents in this actual summit, but it's really geared towards the core of who you are. Tracy likes to call it, I'm putting her on the spot, you know, everything has to be pleasurable. And when she says that, I'm like, holy smoke, what does that look like for us as far as redefining our life? And I'm like, man, that is such a powerful thing to think about as pleasure in your everyday life and everything that you do. So I was like, this summit must happen, because we actually have to talk more or dive deep into more of what that is.
Absolutely. I agree 100% on, you know, in terms of someone who walked away from corporate literally, oh my gosh, maybe 24 years ago for myself. No, 22 years ago. You know, it was scary at the time, maybe not extra scary because, you know, I was in a different chapter in my life. However, the idea and the concept behind what I thought would be my life's career, climbing up a ladder, even though I always had entrepreneurial tendencies and I had ideas and I was always trying something outside of the corporate setting, but not really having like the mentorship or understanding of being an entrepreneur. Understanding it took grit and know-how and push through, but maybe not really fully understanding, like when you just put that foot in front of the other, that you will get to where you need to get to, but you have to have the faith in it and the intuition that you feel inside. You have to have the, you know, the know-how to follow that and believe that you can make it. And this is a whole different time where we have so much information at our fingertips. Didn't have that in the, I don't know, 2000s or so, you know, it was just kind of early 2000s, it was always just kind of like, oh, okay, I got this idea, I want to do this and I would like to do that, blah, blah, blah. So I'm very grateful that we have these groups. We have people who are sharing, you know, how to get there, sharing their experiences. And I think sometimes we need to see ourselves in other scenarios and situations. So we're all, you know, collectively very excited to work together on this project and bring, you know, bring you the most, right? Anyone else want to add?
I was going to say someone had a question too in the
chat. Yes. Okay. I want to say welcome, Federica. I see some chatting going on, sister. Thank you. So Federica was a guest. She was here at Casa for a month. Yeah, I had my sabbatical ladies, 3 ladies that stayed for the whole month. It was really beautiful. You know, I've been talking to other women in consultations who are talking about coming for a month or more. And I'm like, come on down, you know, like find yourself, right? This is kind of a part of this process is if you are able to get away, whether it's 1 week, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is, it makes sense, right? I think that sometimes we got to pull ourselves out of where we are so we can just clear our head and think like the what next steps and how to, you know, I was just chatting with a guest that arrived on Monday, and she's doing just that this week. You know, she's just like, I really want to start my own thing. I work, you know, in this industry, and I really want to do ABC. And, you know, I'm telling her about the summit, but I'm also telling her, yeah, it's definitely doable. You know, make a plan, hire help if you have to help you get there. I think that's one of the important things to focus on. So welcome, Michelle, from Michelle Watson. You know, we love you, Miss Watson and her ingenuity. So I wanted to say her question is moving abroad generally correct, not San Miguel focused. Okay. No, not necessarily. I know that she's planning on going to Merida, right? Is that what you got for that? Who made the rooms?
I think she was asking, like, is this conference, the summit that we're going to be having, is it focused on just SMA or is it just abroad? And
it's abroad.
It's abroad. It's general. It is definitely general.
We just all happen to live in SMA.
Correct. Right. No, this is abroad. Like it's not really about moving to San Miguel, even though we are kind of putting that off to the side for a moment. It's about redefining basically your life and you know, because again, back to conditioning and what we're used to, right? And I'm speaking from my own personal experiences. Is when I graduated high school, it was either college or get a full-time job, right? And in my mind, getting a job meant working my way up the corporate ladder, right? One day I want to be a VP. One day I want to be a manager. One day I want to have a bigger salary. All these things, right? No one taught me about investing. D was not in my life at that time. I remember taking like economics classes and other like statistics and things like this, and I just like felt lost. This was back in the day when you had to look in the newspaper to get this kind of information. So in saying that, you know, we are all conditioned in some way to follow some path that we think is the path that we're supposed to find. This is about helping you see it in a different way, okay? So it's for everyone, right? It's not just San Miguel, but that's a great question. What else? Who else? My sabbatical was life-changing. Thank you, Federica. SMA, that's an inside joke. Trying to get her to move to SMA.
Don't tell me you are thinking about moving, because I will be on you.
That's right.
Yes,
you get her, Bobby.
move.
And
Yeah,
I want to
she's thinking about moving. Go ahead, Tracy.
Federica, she left such a beautiful comment on the video that I did last Friday. And so I just want to shout her out. It was just beautiful what she said. And yeah, give her her props.
Yes, yes, it was an amazing month. Yeah, it was an amazing month. So she's making decisions, but yeah, we're gonna put a little pressure on her. San
Yeah.
Miguel. She said no pressure.
No
Oh
pressure.
yeah, lots of pressure for you.
I think we should talk, about the certain things that we will be covering in the
Yes,
summit. I want people to kind of get an idea of what, when they sign up, like Michelle said, what they're in store for. I know Alan probably has it pulled up, on her Trello or PowerPoint or something.
I do. Oh my
See?
God.
So I'll let
hit it,
Alan kind of
Alan.
speak to that.
I
But
literally have my OneNote pulled up with my
see,
bullet
Absolutely.
points.
but I want people to know what they're in store for. And yes, like Bobby said, we are all pulling together our areas of strength, to bring this to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'll go. Again, I'm Alum, and I worked in corporate America for over 20 years before I took the leap of actually just quitting with no plan. But I quit and found a freelancing job, and that just opened the world for me. And that is what I'm going to focus on because through that job, I've learned a lot from freelancing to government contracting and the other avenues in which businesses are helped through the government. And I firmly believe that freelancing is the way of the future for many businesses or many individuals, especially because more companies are going to remove their permanent workers and institute freelancers because it's a cheaper option on the government part, not the government, but the company part, because my dog decides to want to join the meeting, because they don't have to pay for all those benefits and things. And it allows you to have a more location independent career so you can travel and enjoy your life a lot more. So those would be my pillars that I will be discussing.
Thank you. Anything else that anyone wants to add to that?
To that in particular, or what we plan to?
Yeah.
Just in
Yes.
what we, yeah, that or what we plan to cover.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, I'm 5 years into retirement, and it is in. First of all, I didn't know what I was going to do after retirement. I obviously, I'm kind of young. I retired early. Um, prior to leaving work, I didn't exactly know what I was going to do or how I was going to busy myself, but I found plenty to do to busy myself. But once I finished my master's program, I had a lot of time on my hands, right? And so from that, it just kind of expanded for me, trying to search out things that were actually going to be my niche, right? But what's important for me is that you guys, whether you're leaving the country or not, you got to get your money together. I'm really concerned that people aren't looking around about what's happening with, don't call it your former country, with the US or in general, right? Economics for people that look like us are in the toilet, and we got to get it out of it, right? You have to put yourself in a position where you can be able to take care of yourself, whether you're going to stay where you are or where if you're trying to go somewhere else. And it can't be about, I'm going to figure it out when I get there. Not only that, you need to have some things in place for yourself, to make sure that it is going to be sustainable for you financially and socially and every other way in your life. So those are the things that I'll be trying to focus on when the summit does come up.
Excellent. I wanted to just say thank you for that, Dee, sorry. I wanted to say that the summit will be on August 10th and 11th. Again, we do have a link. We will drop it in this live chat so you can go there, you subscribe, right? Just like everything else. And this way you'll receive updates from us on basically all the extra details, the cost and timeframes. So we are still building some parts and pieces out, but this is the general idea where we want to bring our own individual expertise to this, this weekend so that you can understand better how this works for you. Yeah.
And I will take on from there. Again, I'm Bobby Robinson again. And what I am bringing to this table is my passion for couples being prepared for the journey to move abroad. I think it is very important to have a space and a community built with couples. And we see so many love us as women. I love that we are growing, we are thriving, we are moving abroad, we're getting our monies together, we're getting our careers together. But married couples, we don't see that much, and we don't have an avenue to be able to discuss topics that really do affect couples, married people. And so I will be teaching more on how you're able to prepare conversations that need to be had, the hard, tough conversations and questions that need to be had in order for you to make the right decisions and move abroad appropriately. No need to come out and be confused about it. Those conversations need to be had. And also, when you are abroad, things that are challenges or issues or even great, amazing things that happen when you move abroad as a couple, those are things that still need to continue. The conversations still need to be had. And we need to have community like-minded individuals that we can grow together with. So that's what I will be teaching them.
Absolutely. And I think that's excellent. As a lot of you who follow my channel know, I spoke about when your relationship falls apart abroad. And, you know, I'm very open about that because I believe life happens in different ways. But I think it is very important because moving abroad is such a big step. It's such a huge taking on an endeavor. It can really play on the emotions of people. Maybe one wanted to go, maybe the other is like, I'm not sure, you know, kicking and screaming. You know, regardless of all the reasons, I think that being prepared from an emotional standpoint, understanding, you know, okay, you know, we're in this together, and then also individually preparing yourself for the what if moments, right? I think there are conversations that need to be had across the board. So I love that topic. I think that it's much needed and that people need to understand it's not just like a little walk in the park and you're just waltzing through life and, okay, you know, I'll get there and it's going to be a bowl of cherries. And no, sometimes the challenges that living abroad bring, especially like what I've experienced was the language. Not for myself, but, you know, sort of like if you have someone who is someone who's personable and really loves to communicate and can't, that can be a challenge. There's so many factors. So I love that you are going to focus on that. So thank you for sharing that. I wanted to say a quick welcome to the people that I haven't said welcome to yet. Let's see. No, before you go, I saw you in the chat. Alice and Lisa, Dr. Linda, and Francis, other Francis, welcome, and Diane, hey. Also,
Yes.
a lot of clients in here. Thank you all for coming in. Love me some Diane, just have to say, love me some Federica. Yeah, Diane was here for a week, and she is now my big sister. I've adopted her, she's amazing. So my focus in the summit will be on entrepreneurship, having a business, you know, even possibly talking about raising a child in this country or raising a child abroad, how it impacts your child, maybe at different ages and things like that. The different challenges that come with having a business here in Mexico, the things you need to know, the things you can't let get you down necessarily, and also, most importantly, that it is doable. Knowing how, if you want to have a business that's not nomad, not digital, not online, not remote work, it's an actual space, right? Casa is a space, it's a brick and mortar, how to do it right, so you don't deplete your savings or your investment monies trying to do something and you forgot 4 or 5 steps that were really important, and maybe you end up getting a hefty fine or something like that, because it could happen. So I wanted, that's going to be my focus is what this journey has been in regard to when I started, how I started, and how it led into being in this space. And that the facts are that I'm still learning. And from this experience of learning, I am also learning that there are so many other opportunities that you can attach to once you know how, right? Once you know how to have a business in a space that's the brick and mortar, how you can add things into that pot and continue to grow your income, basically, because that's why we're here. In general, we're not working for nothing. We are working for something, but we want it to be some things that we enjoy doing, and also feeling like, okay, I can survive and I can make it off of this. And it's doable. I'm an example of that. It's definitely doable, but it's important to also understand not just the journey, but the how-to behind it. Yeah. Let's see. Anyone else? You want to add something? I'm just looking.
I'll go to
Sure.
round it out. In my 25 almost year career of working with women, I specialize in women in transition. And so I will be focusing on mindset, wellness, putting yourself first. I'm a firm believer that women, we need to learn to put ourselves first and not everybody else. And there's ways to do that. And it's an everyday process. So I will be dealing with that as well. I will also integrate aspects of pleasure and what that means, and how to center your pleasure focus from a sensory aspect to an everyday in your home aspect to all of the things that embody you. So in totality, wellness. But one of the things that Dee forgot to mention too is that she and I will be talking about the LGBTQIA community
Yes.
that is moving abroad, because we're seeing a lot of Black same-sex or queer couples who are out here in the world, but there's really no space for people giving voice to that. I think people are just out there. So we want to kind of shed some light on that conversation as well.
I love that, and I'm glad that you remembered to bring that up, because we chatted about that the other day. So
Yeah, we got to travel a little differently, that's for sure.
yes,
Yeah.
that's a concern, and I think it's important to have those conversations, especially for people of color, because this is very new for us, right? This is a new thing, a new movement. Yeah, there are people of color that have moved abroad clearly years and decades ago, but not in this capacity where there's like droves of us coming because we want out and we see other options. And I think it's important to cover all demographics, ages, and things like that. As we said last week, was it? With SMA, we grown, okay? We grown up in here. There is no beach. There's no I'm halfway there and then I'm halfway broke and all that. Now, not saying that everyone's affluent or anything. What I'm saying is that it really is a city where people are mature, right? We come in, we come in carrying respect for the space, and also come in upholding and uplifting each other. I know for my business and what I do here and the people I work with, I really focus on hiring locally across the board. This is not just a housekeeping thing. The people that work with me on my back end, things like that, online. I think it's important to also, have those discussions as well. And we'll talk about all of that as well, because that comes up often, gentrification and things like this. So, we're open to all avenues of discussion that we need to have. Yeah. I want to say welcome to Nikisha. And anyone have questions for us? I'm going to actually drop our link in the chat. So if you want to find out more, this is a great way to stay in touch. You can go there and subscribe, give us an email, and we will feed you information. right? And
Yes.
also the dates are going to be August 10th and 11th. Spread the word.
I'm going to say, I love us. I love us. I love that we're doing this. I want, if I can have everybody who wants to come move abroad, please do so. Don't let anything limit you. These amazing ladies, oh my gosh, I love each and every one of them.
Oh,
You're going to get some great and amazing information. You're going to get some support, some encouragement, and some inspiration. Please take all of that in and just let us love on you during this time frame in the summit.
And I think
absolutely.
also we need to highlight community to some degree, because I think what we are not, what we haven't said is like our experience in the States. We lived a very individualistic lifestyle. And it's one thing to, go about your day and you are in the hustle and bustle and flow of things. But part of your relocation or redefining your life abroad is having supportive community around you. And one of the things that was my prayer when moving abroad, it wasn't the reason, but it was a part of the prayer, was that I would find like-minded women that looked like me that I could be in community with, and how that has added so much value to my life as a person, as a woman, as an individual. And it is wonderful to not, I mean, it's wonderful to be amongst these folks. Let me just say it like that.
It really is. I mean, I'm the OG here, and I smile all the time. I really do. I know that I've been a part of a lot of people's journeys in general, or some information, but all of it's humble for me, humbling in so many ways that, none of us are holding back on our life, right? And, oh, I'm not, I don't want to talk about this on whatever. I mean, we are kind of putting ourselves out here, and we're subjected to everything, right? We're subjected to all the praise, but also criticisms. Trust me, I've gotten criticisms from people, who don't understand or whatever. It doesn't matter, but I just want to say, like, it makes me and my heart very proud to see this community that is growing. It's really special. Nothing is without a struggle or a challenge, but for the most part, I feel the same. I lived in the US pretty much my entire life, even though I'm not originally from there. Here comes the train and all the Mexico noises. But
Those people are moving. They're coming.
yes, I know, right? They're all jumping off right here in the neighborhood. But I've been here, and one of the things that I always have said is the community has just been amazing. When I lived in Florida and other parts of the US, Texas, grew up in Connecticut, traveled around, because I can be a little bit like this in general in my day-to-day life, I never really lived in a space or felt the way I do here. This for me was literally like someone pulled out some whipped cream and just put it right on top of my decision to come here, because I wasn't expecting that. I knew in the visit that I had a lot of friendly people at restaurants, like, hey, but could have been a coincidence. That was not what I was looking for, but it has been just the icing on top of this whole decision, and there's zero that I would change about it. And I'm not saying that to exaggerate. I just really feel that this is the pull, this is the draw that a lot of folks are attracted to, is that, yeah, the beautiful home, yes, saving money, the amazing, beautiful city, the art, the culture, the music, all of these things. But this right here is really, to me, what keeps us growing those roots in the ground in the city. So just wanted to emphasize that.
Yeah, I just want to jump on that a little bit. Coming here, and by the way, this is my second stop in Mexico, right? Leaving the US allowed me to leave competition, right? Aside from work, I'm sorry, in work, you're competing with people for money, right? You're competing with your neighbors. So who has the best lawn? Who has the best car? You leave all that behind. There's no competition when you get here. And I don't mean between these 5 women, I mean, period. Okay? Everyone, when you come here, you just built your, it's like add yourself, pour water, and you have family and you have friends, right? Um, your all your priorities change. You don't have to put on $2,000 worth of clothes to go out and have a good time. And those are the things, living a simpler life are the things that really have made me so grateful that I made this move for myself and that I'm trying to get my other people to see it's not what the propaganda is telling you. You cannot listen to that. They are lying to you. I promise you. So if you never thought that this was an option for you, it absolutely is, and we're going to show you how. That's all I got.
And I wanted to add on to what Dee was saying about the competition part. One thing that I really love about being here and being amongst the women here, all of them, not just those on screen, but there isn't, you get to celebrate your wins. Like I was able to share with Dee recently an investment goal I was able to make in numbers. And it was a celebration because she helped me get there, but also because, it's not this sense of envy or jealousy that when you're sharing these very detailed wins that you have people who are around you and celebrating that and pushing you to do even more. And I don't think I would have been able to reach these goals if I wasn't surrounded by these women personally. That's just me.
Absolutely. I love that. And as you're speaking, I was just thinking, I think again in our subtle, unconscious conditioning life in the United States, depending on what we surround ourselves with, but what kind of comes in, really and truly is a lot of negativity from things, right, that look like us, whether it's the music that unfortunately a lot of people listen to, maybe reality TV that does not depict us in the best way. I used to really despise these types of shows. I know they're entertaining, so if you watch them, don't get mad at me. But I just always felt like I don't want that coming through the TV into my energy space in my house, in my room, and where I sleep, I was always kind of, but what I realized in living here is we're kind of removed from that, right? And we're seeing it's almost like a veil or filter has been removed from our eyes, and how much further down the road we can be when we help each other and when we reach out and give a kind word. Someone had a loss or someone had a hard day or whatever, something happened in their household or whatever, and they just need a little lift, or a boost. So that's really, for me, what I have seen, not just from our community, because when I moved here, we didn't really have an our community, but I feel that this city just rubs off on everyone, right? And we're part of that process, and we're seeing something completely different that we didn't experience before. So, I know probably you're listening, thinking as I always call it, Smurfville, the blueberry muffin city. It really is. It really is an amazing place to be. And we're not just saying what we're saying just to be saying it. So, yeah. Okay,
And
someone's
being abroad
asking about
doesn't,
the cartels. Hi, Brenda. I'm
I
making
have a
faces.
comment on that.
Please do. I'm biting my lips.
Um, I'm trying to frame
You're
it.
very tactful, Alan, so just go ahead.
You don't want me
I'm
to say it.
trying. I'm trying.
Do it,
Uh,
girl.
Um,
I'm drinking
I
water.
lived in a city that had gangs. I think all of us did, right? Um, we were not walking around concerned about the gangs. We knew that we had no business being in certain areas, conducting certain transactions. So if you're not in those areas conducting transactions, I'm not exactly sure what the concern is.
Well
Well,
said.
I think Alum is just nice. And so this is where I always come in after she just kind of
Woo!
sugarcoats it. I'll just
Drinking
kind of
more
rip the
water.
Band-Aid off of Michelle. You just drink your water. I think the United States government is the cartel, it's the biggest cartel of them all, because every Black and brown country in this world, the US government has disenfranchised its people. So until we do, like Dee said, or Michelle said, just kind of remove ourselves from that lens and not listen to the propaganda, it is not only then that you will be able to see that we've all been lied to. So
Yeah.
the cartel, just like Alan said, is not a concern, especially being from Oakland and then moved to Atlanta myself. That, I mean, gunshots was normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, Dee. You look like you're
I'm
about to
from
say.
Chicago,
Okay.
okay? I'm from Chicago. I live in the Atlanta area, but most of my life was in Chicago, South Side, West Side, all of that. I am safer here in each part of this country than
Yeah.
I've ever been where I lived before. I promise you that. My head is never on a swivel at all. You cannot allow people to tell you the cartel's gonna get you. How often do you see something like that happen versus how often do you hear every weekend 23 people got shot, 32 people, whatever it is, right? Women are getting violence against women. I won't go into all of that, right? Don't allow them to tell you that that is a thing to keep you away from this country, right? Or any country, because I've traveled a lot. And it's not just Mexico, it's other countries where I've felt safer there than I have in the US. I will say this, when you hear people, I can't say that. I'm gonna need you on this one, Alan.
Drink some water, Dee.
You have to
Let me,
remember where you get your information from and why they're delivering that information to you.
And they be the
Because,
ones over here, by the way, the same ones
right, and
delivering the
I
information.
remember
They chilling in other parts of the world where they're telling you to stay away from.
Yes, they are.
when
Yes,
we
they
went to
are.
Rwanda, everybody was talking about the Rwandan genocide and how it can't be safe there. It's completely unsafe. But Rwanda is a beautiful country. We were in Kigali, and guess who was there? Who were enjoying the country and spreading their missionary work onto the people. Just saying, you have to remember that for every person that tells you a country is unsafe, there are 50 of their brethren who are there enjoying a peaceful existence and potentially
Buying
ruin,
up the place.
ruin
I
Y'all
it.
are
just
so
say that
honest.
there is no perfect place. Let's say that. Wherever you go, you're going to have some people that are unsafe. It just is.
Yes.
There's some unsavory activity. You just have to know if you're not a part of that and not looking for it, it's not going to look for you. So keep that in mind.
And to bring it back to the summit that we're having, the goal is to focus on your total being and to ensure for me that you have a location independent career. So if you are in a place that you don't feel comfortable, you can move. You can go somewhere else and you can still make income. If you
And
get your investments right, what Dee is going to be teaching you, you get your heartstrings right, what Tracy's going to be teaching you, you get your relationship good, what Bobby is going to be teaching you, and you get your business in the country as what Michelle is going to be teaching you. You figure it out.
yeah,
Great,
and then
great.
also just letting people know safety comes in a lot of aspects. It's not just about your physical safety. It is about your health. It is about your overall wellness. It is about your mental safety. It is about you setting the example for your children and the lineage behind you versus that went before you. So there's levels and layers to just your physical safety outside of that.
Absolutely.
food safety, mental
Just,
health
yeah,
safety.
Which
exactly.
I think we should have a conversation about how our health has changed since we've been here. Because I
Let's,
think we can all
Exactly.
testify to
yes,
changes in our health just by exiting from the US food system and being in Mexico. I think that's a great conversation to have because I feel like people don't understand the impacts food has on your body.
Yes.
Absolutely. And where you buy from, and that whole misconception that, your organic things are organic. We could go on and on. Before
Right.
we do that, I want to just say welcome to Alice Hawkins. She wanted to know a little bit more details about the summit. She missed that part. You can go back and watch on the replay, but it is August 10th and 11th, and we did drop the link in the chat. I am going to drop it in here again, so you have access. You don't have to scroll all the way up. So welcome to you and Princess Scotch. I'm in New York. When asked, do you feel safe in Mexico? She said, damn, I think she meant to say, damn Skippy is her answer. I walk with caution no matter where I am, but I feel safer than I do in my own town, and I love my city. She lives in New York, just for those who may not have caught that earlier. Yeah, and we're telling Brenda to come and see for herself. I want to say welcome to Dr. Aima. Let's see, whom else? Sorry if I'm missing you, I'm sort of scrolling back. Yeah, I do want to comment as well about the cartels, because I've heard this so many times. I have been traveling in and out of Mexico since 2005. I also had those same fears because I think we watch too many movies in the United States, and we think that the US is always the hero and they're always coming out on top, they're always winning. We're always beating the bad guys, we're always getting the terrorists, and all the Hollywood scripts, right? And we don't realize how much we're buying into thinking that, one, Mexico is not progressive, right? It's a dirty little country somewhere. It's not developed. Okay, so not the case, right? This country has 32 states. Of course, there are issues here. There have been issues. They are with a history of a lot of violence, but so is the United States, and so are so many other places in the world. So using wisdom, discernment is really key. I don't think, we would all come rushing down here to live here if we were surrounded by cartels and cartel activity and just random things that we had zero control over in terms of our safety. So I wanted to just kind of comment on where the propaganda comes from, and for everyone to really take the time to understand where this started, where it comes from, and also what you continue to listen to, the things you continue to watch. Again, back to the reality TV shows, right, where it's like they're showing you things to keep you where you are. A lot of people bring these types of subjects up because they haven't been to Mexico, and I think you're doing yourself an injustice by not giving it a try. If you really are interested in coming here, I'm not here to convince people that they should move to or come to Mexico if that's not their goal. Never has been. Not here to twist anyone's arm. I'm just sharing my life and how I feel about it. So in saying that, I feel safe in Mexico. Of course, I watch and I'm careful about where I go. Sometimes that is because I don't feel comfortable fully speaking Spanish. And I also want to make sure that I'm in situations where I can communicate. So I do think that that's also important. But I've been here, I've been in and out of this country since 2005, and I've had positive experiences. I've had people that were helpful. I've had the police bribe me. That happens, so I'm not going to act like nothing happens. It's a part of what happens here. But I can tell you this, before I made the decision to move here, I lived very close to the Parkland High School shootings quite a few years ago, and it just angered me. I hated that in kindergarten, I had so much anxiety about bringing my child to kindergarten. Okay, gun violence, that my child was going through drills on active shooter, active problems in kindergarten, right? Like, am I raising a child in a war zone? Yeah, I was. And so I just think that it's important to think about, where you are, where you'd like to go, and make the comparisons, but also just kind of, understand that sometimes things are shared with us and conditioned to make us stay where we are, right? They want the US dollars and things. There's so many factors where we could bring up so many things. So I think that it's important to just understand a lot of the rhetoric and where it comes from, basically. So yeah, I don't worry about the cartels, and I'm right there with Alum. If that's not my life, I wasn't in a gang. The Crips and Bloods, I don't even know if I'm saying it right in any place. So I think that you just have to kind of think about that. And also think about the demographic that's been living here for decades. It wasn't us. Why? Right? Think about that. Anyone else? I'm done with my 2 cents.
No, I just think that we all are very passionate about that particular question because we've all realized how much we've been lied to. So we just want people to get into a place of unlearning and taking a chance and seeing for themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's talk about food.
Food. The food here has allowed me to drop 30 pounds.
Wow.
Same, same.
Okay.
Food here has allowed me to, my joints feel fine now. And I've been going to the doctor lately, just to get a thorough checkup, and they are thorough, right? But what I am finding out is that food and exercise has healed me, not taking pills, right? I actually went to Atlanta a couple months ago and bought some tomatoes and put them on the counter, just to ripen more. And they were beautiful, okay? And so I forgot they were there, and I came here again, and someone in the house asked me how long had I been gone. And I said, well, I think I've been gone 3 weeks. They took a picture of a perfect tomato, beautiful, plump, right? Still sitting on that counter. If you take a tomato and put one on the counter here, it's going bad in 2 to 3 days. That's what a fresh vegetable is supposed to do, okay? The food here is going to heal some of the ailments that you've had for years. The sugars aren't the same, all of these things. The food is going to be part of your medicine. Tracy's going to concentrate quite a bit on health, and I believe she'll hit those things, but I'm going to hit it from a financial perspective as well. You guys go on food.
Just really quick too, I had a mammogram. Was it yesterday, you guys? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And just the day before yesterday, I don't remember. I think it was yesterday.
It
But
was
anyway,
just, it was yesterday.
okay, so I had a mammogram, and so the woman, she does the mammogram. First of all, it was $68 for the mammogram, but listen to what I'm about to tell you I got. So it was a routine mammogram. Then from there, I was like, okay, we're done. She was like, no. So she says, we have to go do the ultrasound. I'm like, huh? So they do an ultrasound of your breast as well. So I got the mammogram, the ultrasound, and then also the images as well. So that is unheard of in the US, let alone for it to be 68 USD out the door. So
Absolutely.
like speaking to I'm a foodie and I pay attention to the food, but I also do have a culinary background, and it is proven fact that the USDA, they can food people, whatever they want to call themselves now. They're not even farmers in the
They're
United
chemists, right?
chemists, they can pay for an organic stamp on the food. So it's not truly organic. One of the reasons why Latin countries, primarily Mexico, obviously, was my choice was because the access to whole foods and making sure that it is organic, straight from the farmer, and that access. And being a Black person or being a brown person in the United States, there's so much food inequity and food disenfranchisement in the States. people don't understand the food deserts that are out there and the food deprivation, and that is a form of systemic racism. So, I mean, I can get into, and I will get into all of that and how it aids into your overall well-being, but I mean, I got all these ladies on here drinking lemon tonic waters every morning, and other people online are like,
Yes.
I'm doing this because, you know, it's about cleansing that liver and opening up those capillaries so that blood is nice and thin and flowing. And it's like simple everyday things that you can do to elevate your health for the betterment.
And I just
Awesome.
wanted to add that outside of the US, access to healthcare is a lot easier. It's a lot more personable. The doctors take better care of you, or they provide better care. They are willing to explain everything. My last doctor's appointment was an hour long because she went line by line, an 11-page blood report, my blood results that came back. And she went line by line and explained everything. You will find YouTubers who are in Thailand doing full workups of themselves for a few $100s out of pocket. And it just is a testament to how the US intentionally attempts to keep their people sick. And you're able to live your full healthy life abroad. And I don't know, I just wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have moved sooner, because if I would have known then what I know now,
Yeah.
I would have been a lot healthier. I wouldn't have to lose 30 pounds in 8 months. I would have lost it years ago.
Yeah. I will also say this too, from the perspective of healthcare. It's really sad when you are in an emergency situation, feeling very sick, and needing help and trying to count the cost of if you can go to an emergency room or a doctor to pay for it. And that should be the last thing you should think about. Your first thing is thinking about taking care of yourself and getting better and getting healthy. Even I went to an emergency room before I broke my foot. I mean, literally, they called a orthopedic surgeon in the middle of the night. I mean, all of this, X-rays. They actually put me in a cast. All that. It was $900. Medicine, everything. And you ask yourself, why does it cost so much in order for you to be able to better yourself physically? There's an issue. And don't get me on my soapbox about health insurance, because that's a scam to me in and of itself. But definitely, if you're hearing this, there is a better option to healthcare for you. Even if you were able to maybe not necessarily move abroad at this time, take a trip somewhere, get some assistance with lab work and doctors, and get the real care that you need, not reactive care, but preventative care, real care, health care, not sick care. Please do yourself that favor.
And this is a
Absolutely.
part of the redefining yourself. This is a huge part of it. And you know, she focuses on finance, but then here I am coming behind. I'm like, if you're not well, nothing else matters. Your
Exactly.
financial health is absolutely important because we live in a world where we absolutely need money to live. But if we're not well, then that is your first priority at that point, is getting healthy, and nothing else matters. So making sure that as you explore the possibilities abroad, giving you guys the actual tools that you need to set yourself up for success.
And as
Absolutely.
Bobby would say, moving abroad is not for the elite, it's for the prepared. And so it's just important that you prepare yourself in all areas of your life to ensure you're ready for that move abroad process.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here for. So, yeah, just there's so many nuggets tonight. So many nuggets. I also wanted to comment on a little bit on the cost in regard to healthcare. As some of you can see here, Federica was sharing her recent need to go to Mac Hospital emergency. She walked in, she wasn't feeling well her last week. And, you know, she kind of said, Michelle, I don't feel good. I'm going to go to Mac Hospital in the morning. And I said, okay, keep me posted. And she went, they diagnosed, she said it was such a positive experience for her. And it also didn't break the bank, right? You can see she paid $53 for walk-in care. She got her prescriptions and thankfully was feeling well enough to go to our planned get together on Saturday, just before she left this past Saturday. I also wanted to comment on having to take my son to the same hospital a couple weeks ago. He just wasn't doing well. I was driving him to school and he started to tell me his back was hurting him. I think he had pulled a muscle or something. And I just didn't know. I'm like, they're driving, of course, around the cobblestones, which is making it worse. And I'm like one hand behind, like, hold on, we're gonna get there. And he's like crying and crying. And I just literally pulled up to the school. I was just pulling up and he's like, I said, do you want me to take you to the hospital? Anyway, the point is we drove up the hill, we went to the hospital instead of him going to school. And when I walked in, they were ready to take him. There was no like sitting in the emergency room for 10 hours trying to get help. They spoke both languages. I was able to communicate with them, tell them what was going on. A nurse came out, they do the check in the vitals and everything. He could barely like move to get on the table. So it was, quite painful for him. In the end, the point of saying all of that is it cost me about the same, about $50 to get the care, to get the attention that I needed right off the top. I've been to several doctors, whether it was OBGYN, pediatricians, you name it, right? Buying prescriptions from the pharmacy. It makes no sense that it costs so much in the US. It's just, to me, it's just a scam. And I even said that I can get into more, but I won't, about my phone bills. I had AT&T in the US when I first moved here, and then I got AT&T Mexico and ended up, cutting costs significantly. So the point of saying that is, yes, there are challenges with life in Mexico, but there are, to me, more pros than cons. I've said that, I say that all the time. I've lived here, built a house here, been involved in other projects here. So the point of saying everything is that, we're not here to take advantage. We're just here to also enjoy the benefits of that, and to just tell people, like, where and what we've been sold a whole bill of goods, that life is definitely better in other places, and that's a part of redefining, right? Life abroad.
I wanted to add one thing on the medical. I know we've talked, it's beauty of it, but when we went to the doctor last, both my husband and I were sick. And so instead of making us go to the pharmacy, our doctor had medication sent to our house. So that way we could just go straight home from the doctor and just wait on the medication to arrive. I've never had that experience in the States where a carrier or courier is going to deliver medicine to my house, and she prescribed so much for us to help us get over this cold that we were experiencing. And that was like the human aspect of care that is missing in the United States, that really you can get in other countries. Even when we went to Rwanda, it was during COVID, and the process was so seamless, so straightforward. It was easy, even though we did not speak a lick of Rwandan. It was easy to understand. You just followed the line to wherever you need to go. And within, I don't know, a few minutes, you got an email notification of what your test results were. And it was just like, you don't even get that in the States. And this is supposed to be, a first world country, but you can't even get that kind of technology in the States the way that you're getting outside. And that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that. I wanted to comment on the mammogram. I did the same, Tracy. I paid less. I saved money. No, but the point is I had the normal test and then the ultrasound at La Jolla. And, so the point is just to say that sometimes people don't get the care they need because they can't afford it. And I'm just grateful that we're here and we're able to enjoy having a better quality of life. And there are even doctors that do house calls. So we can go on and on about this, but we will definitely share so much with you. We will be really working out a super well-rounded summit and program that will give you so many things. And once you subscribe, you'll see what we have lined up and all of the things that we're going to bring to the table. And we're open to input, right, ladies, on some things that you may want to know that maybe we didn't talk about tonight. So I think in the effort to not just create the summit, but to make sure that the information is as well-rounded as possible. Yeah, that's our goal. I think all of us are doing this because we just really truly feel from our soul like this is necessary, and we're excited to continue to extend the good life to all of you up there in the north. Come on down, wherever you are. Yes, so I want to say welcome really quickly to author Alicia, if I didn't do that already, TJ, Jetta, hi Jetta, Nailia, Shama. Let's see, you're right, we do have to be an advocate for ourselves with the US healthcare system, or just in general, even here, although the cost is less, you really have to be persistent. I know that that's Tracy's expertise about, the things that your body happens to be feeling. You did a great live, I think it was last week, Friday, Tracy, on just women's health and the things that we need to pay attention to. So if you missed it, all of these beautiful women have their own channels. So we're going to put all of those details in the description box, and you can go there and make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, because it's a lot of work for us to sit here and chit chat with you and answer questions. And we love to do what we're doing. We're putting more things together, but it's real easy. Just hit that button. But there's a lot of information between all of us on all of our channels, and that will definitely serve a greater good and purpose in helping anything that you have questions about in regard to living abroad or just life, right? Helping you get there. So yeah, anyone else want to drop some knowledge, some gems? No?
I think we have shared enough for you to be interested in signing up
Agreed.
and getting the ball started on this journey with us. And we just appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Can you share the link one more time?
Yes, I will.
Michelle?
I'll send it. Share it.
Yes, Francis, we are all living in San Miguel.
Yes.
Yes, we are. And hi, Francis. How are you? I also want to say welcome to Mrs. Towns. She says, I'm ready for the journey. Excellent. Yeah, so I dropped the link several times throughout our chat. If you happen to be watching the replay, please go there or go to the description box. We'll definitely get back together here, and we're also going to get back together on Tracy's channel, and anyone else who just kind of had to listen out. We are putting all the details of this together, but we're super excited to be able to do this together. Yeah, welcome, Angie. Thanks for dropping in. Okay, I was just looking at, thank you. So I think that's it. Anything else? Any other questions? No? Okay. So this is it, you ladies and gents, if you're out there, don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Thank you for joining.
That's
Thank
right. Thank you for
you.
joining, and don't forget to sign up. Have a good night.
Have a great one.
Bye.
Hang tight, ladies. One sec.
Okay.